How you doing? My name is David. Welcome to my channel, My Yard Sale. First, I want to say I'm not a healthcare specialist. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a guy that has made some pretty bad health decisions in the past, and I'm trying to figure them out and make things better in the future for both myself and for others. So a couple of days ago, I posted a note on two things that I couldn't eat anymore. One was coffee, one was peanut butter. Both very high in omega-6 fatty acids that were causing me inflammation, like to the point where it was making things very difficult for me. Today I want to talk a little bit more about that, discuss it, and of course, if you have any comments, I'd love to hear the comments. And if you have any questions, I'd love to hear any questions. So first off, omega-3 and omega-6 fatty acids are healthy. Yay! The bad part is low omega-3s and high omega-6s are not necessarily good for you. Omega-3s are anti-inflammatory, and omega-6s are inflammatory. Omega-3s come from fish, sardines, anchovies, regular just fish. You can get it from fish. Omega-6s come from things like coffee, peanut butter, and the worst thing is seed oils. Seed oils including safflower, soybean oil, all the different oils besides olive oil and any kind of seed oil or anything they call vegetable oil. Now I'm kind of realizing that the years coming into my health issues, I fried the F out of everything. I fried tofu, I fried vegetables, I fried rice, I fried everything, all in vegetable oil. And even worse than that, Walmart vegetable oil, which I don't know if there's a worse vegetable oil than another vegetable oil, but I'm pretty sure that whoever they get it from makes it as cheap as possible to be able to get the profits. But so I was frying everything in vegetable oils, which I think everybody knows that can't be great, at least now. But then I was thinking, oh, it's vegetable oil. It's fine. It's vegetables. Not a problem. Well, come to find out, yeah, that's not such a good idea. Those omega-6 seed oils can actually cause inflammation to the point where it can create neuropathy-like problems, neuropathy and like diabetes and pre-diabetic inflammatory issues without even having diabetes or prediabetes. Like if you get your A1C and you're not diabetic or pre-diabetic, but you're having problems with what could be associated with diabetes type symptoms, your doctor is going to be pretty excited because they're going to get to prescribe some kind of stuff to you that may or may not make any sense. But again, omega-3 is anti-inflammatory, omega-6 is inflammatory, and the ratio off can create problems. I got my recent inflammation from coffee and peanut butter, both pretty high in omega-6s. Maybe not high for a person that doesn't have a compromised system, but for me, I'm like walking that very fine line between healthy and unhealthy, and a little tip over the side with some peanut butter and some coffee causes me all kinds of like metabolic issues. So the interesting thing about having a high A1C, diabetic, pre-diabetic, you can resolve that in 90 days. You eat right, you eat keto, you eat carnivore, you don't eat any of the garbage that we all want to eat and love to eat, and you can reverse a diabetes diagnosis in 90 days because your red blood cells die and they get remade by your body and they don't have the sugars attached to those cells. So you get a lower A1C, which is kind of good. So 3 months you can reverse your A1C and become non-diabetic. Now the problem with this whole omega-6 thing is it can take 2 to 3 years to get the omega-6 oils out of your system. I'm trying to find a way to do it faster and I just Can't seem to find a way. So if you've got issues where you're having diabetic type issues, but you no longer have diabetes, it could be the omega-6s. And I got to be honest, I started looking at the labels on everything that I eat, and anything that's sweet and delicious has these seed oils in it. They don't make it affordable by putting quality ingredients in it. They make it affordable by putting garbage oils in it to make the product. And anything that looks like safflower oil, sunflower oil, any kind of oil that's not olive oil, even olive oil sometimes has these garbage oils in it. But anything that's not a specific kind of oil that you can understand the words for probably has seed oils in it, which again, you eat them today, tomorrow, this month. They're in your system for up to 2 to 3 years. And for me, I think, even though I've turned around diabetes, I'm 99% sure I'm not diabetic or pre-diabetic. I still have all these issues, I think, because I'm still working omega-6s out of my system. And in some cases, I'm still eating them. I'm still drinking coffee now and then. I still eat peanut butter. I still eat things that have seed oils in the ingredients, even though now I'm much more careful of not eating them. I think it's hard to get them completely out of your system. So omega-6 issues can cause neuropathy type symptoms. I think you can get a blood test for the ratio of omega-3s to omega-6s. I'm not totally sure, even if a doctor would know what to look for or see, know what they're looking at when it comes to those and what the consequences could be. So I guess the point of this particular post is to mention that omega-6s can cause inflammation, making diabetes and prediabetes type symptoms much worse. It's also able to be reversed. It just takes a longer time to reverse it. And I'm currently trying a higher fiber diet, less meat, of course, no sugars. I should say low sugar, very low sugars, almost no carbs. That's what I'm eating now. And hopefully this will make things move a little bit faster. But again, I wanted to do this post to talk about inflammation and omega-6s and diabetes type symptoms that you might get even though you no longer have diabetes or may not even have ever had diabetes. You can still have these symptoms related to those omega-6s. And I'm not suggesting that you stop drinking coffee or you stop eating peanut butter or you stop eating sugar, because I think our bodies are made to deal with all those things. Like we have insulin, we have, I don't know how a body processes omega-3s or omega-6s, but I think our bodies can do that. The problem is that we get this flood of omega-6 oils in everything that we eat that we never ate before. We didn't used to eat oil that was made to lubricate machinery, and that they decided to put in food because it's cheap and people didn't know any different. So if you eat sugar, you eat omega-6s and omega-3s in normal ratios, you probably won't have any problems. But if you do have any problems, you'll know to think, oh, well, maybe this is what that guy on my yard sale was talking about. Maybe I'm having that problem. If this has been interesting at all to you, do me a favor. Give me a thumbs up. If you're interested in this type of content, do me a favor and subscribe to my channel. I'll be adding more content like this. And real soon in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to be adding more content of what it was like to grow up in Florida. As a kid, I grew up in Florida. I lived in Connecticut as a kid. I lived in Colorado as a kid. I was in the Navy for 4 years. I'm going to be adding more life type content that I hope some of you folks will think is interesting. Be interested in, I should say. So I hope you're having a great day and hope this is interesting. Okay, bye-bye.